Every public company files a 10K. Each one runs hundreds of pages, financials, footnotes, risk factors, and disclosures. It is the cleanest financial data you can get. But most firms still pay analysts to type these numbers into spreadsheets, or they pay vendors a premium for data that arrives days late. I am Satyashrikant Mantha, Principal Solutions Architect here at Fission Labs. I help companies adopt AI in a way that's secure, reliable, and ready for the enterprise. Today, I will show you how Amazon Bedrock Data Automation, delivered as Fission Labs engagement, turns your 10K filings into a live financial knowledge base, and what that unlocks for research, credit, and compliance teams. Walk onto any research credit or a risk flaw, and you will see the same thing. Analysts spend most of their time reconciling numbers across filings, vendor feeds, and internal models. The richest information lives in the footnotes and what is called as management's discussion and analysis, or MD&A. Things like revenues, revenue policies, off-sheet balance exposures, and forward-looking commentary. But it's all text, so it really makes into systematic workflows. And every time a company restates results or redefines a segment, peer comparisons quietly break. Vendor data helps, but it's expensive, it lags, and it's inconsistent. The bottom line, your most expensive talent is doing data entry instead of generating insights or managing risks. The old tools fall short in predictable ways. Template based extraction breaks the moment a company changes a statement layout. XBRL helps, but every filer uses different tags, and the text sections aren't tagged at all. Vendor normalized data is a black box. You can't audit back to the file. And plain OCR, it just reads the characters, not the meaning. It can't tell a non gap table apart from a footnote. The result? You build brittle pipelines. There are gaps in coverage, and analysts spend their day reconciling instead of analyzing. Let's take a look at the solution architecture. Here is how we solve it. The moment a filing hits Edgar, it lands in S3. Bedrock Data Automation does the heavy lifting. It extracts financial statements, segment tables, footnotes, MD&A, and risk factors into the format your firm actually uses. Validation runs automatically. Totals tie, periods match, and units line up. From there, AWS-native services like step function, Lambda, Event Bridge clean and reconcile the data, tie it back to XBRL where possible, and flag any restatements or segment changes. Structured fundamentals go into your data warehouse for quants and the risk teams, whereas the text, like MDNA, risk factors, footnotes, go into vector store, so anyone can run semantic search and Q&A directly on filings. Fission Lab builds and operates the entire pipeline with security, lineage, and audit controls that regulated environments require. So, what makes this work for financial filings? Bedrock Data Automation gives you one API for everything: statements, tables, footnotes, even exhibit images. You define the schema that match your chart of accounts, not a generic template. Validation is automatic. Total style, periods are consistent. Footnotes link back to the lines they describe, and it costs a fraction of premium vendor feeds with your data staying inside your AWS account. Around that core, Fission Lab delivers everything that turns into an enterprise platform: schema design, reconciliation against XBRL, and your existing feeds, production operations, monitoring, and audit trails. If the use case truly needs custom GenAI orchestration, we bring our Flowtorch accelerator. This isn't one workflow, it's a platform play across financial services. On the buy side, fundamental analysts can cover parallelly across 3,000 companies with normalized data within hours of filing. They can do semantic search on footnotes and MD&A to spot revenue recognition changes or customer concentration shifts that move ratings. In a credit and corporate banking, you automatically extract debt schedules, covenants, and off balance sheet exposures. Year over year changes in risk factor language becomes an early warning signal. Sell side research collapses model update cycles from overnight to minutes. Compliance and ESG teams get audit ready lineage from any number back to its location in the filing. Exactly what regulators expect under the new climate and human capital rules. Each of these alone would justify the investment. The point is, the same pipeline serves all of them. Getting started is straightforward, but financial filings are unforgiving. An extraction error flows straight into your models, ratings, and disclosure. You need experienced hands to design the schemas, build the reconciliation logic, and set up the audit posture regulators expect. That's where Fission Lab comes in. We specialize in Gen AI and AWS implementation, and you bring the financial services context. Together, we will audit your filing landscape, design schemas that fit your research and risk models, build reconciliation against XBRL and your existing feeds, stand up the production operations and security around it, all with full lineage from any number back to the source filing. We typically recommend starting with one of the three pilots: a sector slice of your coverage universe, a risk factor and MD&A search use case for credit and compliance, 10K or 10Q reconciliation for one line of business. Reach out to Fission Labs to start the conversation.